There comes a moment in every woman's life when the weight of the world seems unbearable. The expectations, the disappointments, the betrayals, heartbreaks. Life has a way of pressing down so hard that it feels like the very core of who you are is being shattered. But let me tell you something. Brokenness is not the end of you. It is the beginning of something greater. When life breaks a woman, it is not to destroy her, but to reveal her strength. A broken vessel still carries oil. A cracked heart can still love. A wounded soul can still rise. And when you come through the breaking, you will not look like what you've been through. Don't despise your tears. They are watering the soil of your future. Don't curse your pain. It is birthing purpose. Don't fear the loneliness. It is preparing you for divine companionship. The world may see the cracks. God sees the capacity. The enemy may see weakness, but heaven sees resilience. Woman, you are not what was done to you. You are not defined by who left you. You are not the sum of your failures. You are the living proof that survival is possible, that healing is real, and that restoration is certain. When life breaks a woman, that's when her spirit becomes unshakable. That's when her faith grows unmovable. That's when her purpose becomes undeniable. And the very pain that tried to bury you will become the testimony that builds you. Brokenness has a way of making us feel like life is over. It sneaks in during the moments when we least expect it. One phone call can break you. One betrayal can shatter you. One loss can leave you questioning if you will ever be whole again. Life has a way of taking us to the edge, pressing us down until it feels like there is nothing left. But I came to tell you today, brokenness is not the end. There is a difference between something being broken and something being finished. A vase can fall and break into pieces, but the story of that vase does not end with the shattering. In fact, sometimes broken pieces become more valuable when carefully put back together. The Japanese have an art form called kintsugi, where they repair broken pottery with gold, making the cracks the most beautiful part of the piece. That's how your life works too. The cracks, the scars, the breaks, they are not there to destroy you. They are there to reveal your beauty and your strength. When you are broken, you see things you never saw before. You learn compassion in a deeper way. You develop empathy for pain because you have tasted it yourself. You stop taking peace for granted because you know what it feels like to live without it. You stop wasting time on what doesn't matter because you know how fragile life truly is. Brokenness teaches you lessons that wholeness could never reveal. Some of you have been through seasons that almost destroyed you. Seasons where you didn't know how you were going to make it through the night. Seasons where your tears became your only prayer. Seasons where your smile was just a mask hiding the storm in your soul. But even in that place, even when it felt like you were shattered beyond repair, you survived, and survival itself is proof that brokenness is not the end. Brokenness feels like the end because it strips you of control. It takes away the illusion that you have everything figured out. It pulls the ground from under your feet and leaves you reaching for stability. But what feels like the end is often the beginning of transformation. Think of a seed. Before a seed can grow into a tree, it has to be broken in the soil. The shell has to crack open. It has to go through a breaking so that life can come forth. Without breaking, there is no growth. Without breaking, there is no fruit. Without breaking, there is no future. And so when life breaks you, don't see it as a burial. See it as a planting. What the enemy meant for evil, God can turn for good. What was meant to bury you is actually the very soil in which your destiny will grow. You may be broken, but you are not buried. You may be shattered, but you are not finished. You may be wounded, but you are still breathing. And as long as you are breathing, your story is still being written. Sometimes brokenness isolates you. It makes you feel like nobody else understands. People see your smile, but they don't see the cracks in your soul. People hear your words, but they don't hear the silent screams in your spirit. People clap for your strength, but they don't see the nights you cry yourself to sleep. But hear me today, your brokenness is not wasted. Every tear is counted. Every sleepless night is remembered. Every crack is seen. And heaven does not abandon you in your brokenness. It meets you there. Brokenness is where grace shows up the strongest. Brokenness is where strength is made perfect. Brokenness is where you stop relying on your own power and lean on a power greater than yourself. It is in the cracks that the light comes through. It is in the breaking that the blessing is birthed. And it is in the darkest moments that you discover the resilience of your own spirit. Do not despise your scars. They are evidence that you survived. They are proof that what tried to destroy you did not succeed. Scars remind you that pain was real, but healing was greater. Scars remind you that you went through fire, but the fire did not consume you. Scars tell a story. That brokenness was not the end. Think about a diamond. It begins as nothing more than carbon buried deep in the earth. Before it becomes the jewel we value, it goes through intense pressure and breaking. Without the breaking, there would be no brilliance. Without the crushing, there would be no shine. The very thing that seemed to destroy it was the process that defined it. And the same is true for you. Brokenness is not the end because your purpose is bigger than your pain. Every trial you endure is shaping you for the assignment you are called to. Every disappointment is pushing you closer to your destiny. Every heartbreak is preparing you for greater love. Every loss is setting the stage for restoration. You cannot see it in the moment, but when you look back, you will realize that the breaking was not a punishment. It was preparation. Some of you are sitting in the middle of your brokenness right now. You don't see a way out. You don't see how the pieces can ever come back together. Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare settle in your despair. Don't you dare write a period where God has placed a comma. Your story isn't over yet. Brokenness is not the end. It may feel like the end of a chapter, but it is not the end of the book. It may feel like the end of a season. It is not the end of your life. You are still here, and that means purpose is still alive. You are still breathing, and that means destiny is still in motion. You are still standing, and that means your strength is greater than your struggle. So lift your head, wipe your tears, straighten your back, keep moving forward, because brokenness is not the end. It is the beginning of your breakthrough. Place of your greatest pain is often the place of your greatest power. The season of your deepest breaking is often the season that births your brightest future. You are not finished. You are not forsaken. You are not forgotten. What you've been through is not the final chapter of your story. It is only the preparation for what is coming next. And when you come out of this season, you won't just be healed, you'll be stronger, wiser, and ready to walk into everything that belongs to you. There are moments in life when the weight of pain feels unbearable. Times when the questions are louder than the answers. The silence of God feels heavier than his voice. And when the tears fall so often that you wonder if they will ever stop. You look at your life and ask, why me? Why this? Why now? But let me tell you, your pain is not meaningless. It carries purpose. And every tear you cry is not wasted. It is watering the soil of your destiny. Pain has a way of teaching us what comfort never could. It introduces us to parts of ourselves we didn't know existed. Pain strips away the illusions of strength and reveals the rawness of the human soul. Yet, in that vulnerability, something beautiful happens. Purpose is born. The same pain that tried to break you ends up shaping you. The same trial that felt like it was crushing you becomes the very thing that pushes you into who you were always meant to be. Think about a seed again. It is buried in darkness, pressed into the dirt, and seemingly forgotten. But within that darkness, transformation begins. The seed must first break open. In that breaking, new life emerges. That is how destiny works. Your tears are like the water on the soil, and your pain is the breaking of the seed. The breaking is not the end. It is the process that allows destiny to sprout. Some of you have cried tears that nobody saw. You've smiled in public, but wept in private. You've held yourself together for others, but fallen apart behind closed doors. And maybe you've wondered if your tears even matter. Let me assure you, they do. Every tear has a voice. Every tear is a prayer. Every tear is a seed planted in the soil of your future. You may not see the harvest yet, but trust me, the ground is working, the roots are forming, destiny is rising from your tears. Pain is not wasted when it is surrendered. The heartbreak, the loss, the betrayal, the disappointment, all of it is carrying you somewhere. It is shaping your character. It is stretching your faith. It is deepening your compassion, is enlarging your capacity to handle what is coming next. Sometimes the weight of pain is simply the weight of preparation. The more you have endured, stronger you will stand when your season of purpose fully arrives. Your destiny is too great to be built on comfort alone. Comfort never made a warrior. Ease never produced endurance. But pain has a way of molding giants. Pain pushes you to pray when pride would have kept you silent. Pain drives you closer to God when success might have made you forget Him. Pain strips away the unnecessary so you can stand in authenticity. When you come through it, you carry a depth that cannot be faked. Look back at your own life. Every painful moment you've endured has brought you here. If it didn't destroy you, then it was developing you. If it didn't kill you, then it was cultivating you. If you are still standing after everything you've been through, then you are living proof that pain is not wasted. It carries purpose. And let's talk about your tears again. Tears may look like weakness to the world, but in the eyes of heaven, they are strength. Tears water the very ground that destiny needs to grow. Your tears are cleansing your soul, releasing your pain, and fertilizing your future. Every drop that falls is not a symbol of defeat, but a sign of life. When you cry, you are not breaking down, you are breaking through. Consider the story of a mother in labor. Her pain is intense. Her cries fill the room. Her tears stream down her face. Nobody in that room tells her to stop crying because they know her pain is producing something. Her tears are proof that something new is about to be born. It is what your tears represent, not weakness, but the birthing of destiny. What you are crying over today may be the very thing that pushes you into your tomorrow. Do not despise your tears. They are holy. They are sacred. They are seen. They are counted. Scripture even says that tears are collected, stored, remembered. That means none of them are wasted. The world may not understand them. People may overlook them, but heaven records them, and heaven knows exactly what they are birthing in your life. Your pain is not your punishment. It is your preparation. The things you've walked through are not evidence that you are forsaken. They are evidence that you are chosen. Pain refines. Tears purify, struggles strengthen, and all of it together is aligning you with destiny. What you see as a breakdown, God sees as a breakthrough. What you call suffering, God calls sowing. And when the season of harvest comes, you will realize that the tears you shed were watering the ground you are about to walk on. You may have walked through nights of sorrow. Joy is coming in the morning. You may have endured seasons of loss, but restoration is on the horizon. You may have faced betrayal. Loyalty is coming to meet you. You may have cried yourself to sleep, but those same tears will be the seeds that grow your peace. So don't give up in the middle of your pain. Don't give up in the middle of your tears. You are closer than you think. Destiny is not ahead of you somewhere far away. It is already being formed inside of you. Every painful lesson, every sleepless night, every moment of weeping has been preparing you for this. And the day will come when you will look back and say, it was good that I went through it. I didn't understand it then, but now I see the purpose. My pain carried me into my promise. My tears watered my destiny. So hold on. Keep walking. Keep pressing. Keep crying if you must, but don't stop. Because those very tears are not empty. They are filled with power. They are the evidence that life is still moving, that destiny is still being shaped, that purpose is still alive. Your pain is not pointless. Your tears are not wasted. What you are going through is not the end of your story. It is the unfolding of your purpose. And when you finally step into the fullness of your destiny, you'll realize that every tear, every heartbreak, every painful season was worth it because your pain carried your purpose and your tears watered your destiny. Life has a way of attaching labels to us. Labels that come from what we've been through, what we've lost, and who has hurt us. Sometimes the voices of the past try to whisper to us, you are the one who failed. You are the one who was abandoned. You are the one who lost everything. Those voices try to convince us that our identity is tied to our wounds. Let me tell you the truth. You are not defined by loss, betrayal, or failure. Loss is something every human being will face. Comes in many forms: the loss of a loved one, the loss of a dream, the loss of stability, the loss of time. When loss strikes, it leaves an emptiness that feels unbearable. It makes you think that because something was taken from you, you are now less valuable. But your worth has never been measured by what you lost. Your value does not decrease because someone left, because something ended, because something was taken. The essence of who you are remains intact, even when life strips away the things around you. Loss may change your circumstances, cannot erase your identity. Think about gold, whether it is shaped into jewelry, melted down, or buried deep in the earth, it never loses its value. You are the same. The seasons may change, your possession may come, go, people may walk in and out of your life, but your value remains. You are not defined by what left. You are defined by what remains, and what remains is the unshakable truth that you are worthy, chosen, and destined for more. And there is betrayal. Betrayal cuts the deepest because it comes from those closest to us. A stranger cannot betray you. Only a friend, a loved one, someone you trusted can stab you with that kind of wound. Betrayal makes you question your judgment, your worth, even your ability to trust again. Hear me. Betrayal is a reflection of the betrayer, not the betrayed. Their actions speak of their character, not your value. You are not less because they failed you. You are not broken beyond repair because they walked away. You are not unworthy because someone else could not see your worth. Betrayal may hurt, but it does not define you. It refines you. It teaches you discernment. It teaches you resilience. It shows you the strength you didn't know you had. And most importantly, betrayal often clears the path for the right people to enter your life, the ones who will value, honor, and protect you. Failure, too, is one of life's greatest teachers, but too often we wear failure like a name tag. We say, I failed, therefore I am a failure. But failure is an event, not an identity. Everybody fails. The only people who don't fail are the ones who never try. Failure is proof that you had the courage to step out, boldness to attempt something, the vision to see beyond where you were. And every failure carries within it the seeds of wisdom, growth, and eventually success. Think about some of the greatest people in history, leaders, inventors, creators, visionaries. Almost all of them failed before they succeeded. They were rejected before they were celebrated. They were overlooked before they were recognized. Their failures were not the end of their story, they were the preparation for it. And the same is true for you. Your failure is not the end. It is shaping you, training you, and equipping you for the future. Do not let the labels of loss, betrayal, or failure stick to you. You are not the one who lost everything. You are not the one who was betrayed. You are not the one who failed. You are more than that. You are more than what you've been through. You are more than what people said about you. You are more than the mistakes you've made. You are more than the pain you've endured. When you carry loss, you carry wisdom. When you walk through betrayal, you carry discernment. When you experience failure, you carry resilience. Every wound becomes a testimony. Every scar becomes a story. Every painful moment becomes a building block for the person you are becoming. You are not defined by what broke you. You are defined by how you rise after the breaking. Look at yourself through a different lens. You are still standing. That means loss did not destroy you. You are still breathing. That means betrayal did not stop your purpose. You are still moving. That means failure did not finish you. You have survived storms that would have drowned others. You have endured pain that could have crushed you. Yet here you are stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever. Don't let your past dictate your future. Don't let the pain of yesterday rob you of the joy of tomorrow. Don't let the betrayal of one person keep you from trusting again. Let the failure of one season keep you from trying again. What you've been through is part of your story. But it is not the end of your story. It is the chapter that sets the stage for redemption, restoration, and renewal. Sometimes the things you think disqualified you are the very things that qualify you to step into your purpose. The losses gave you compassion. The betrayals gave you wisdom. The failures gave you strength. Without them, you would not be who you are today. Without them, you would not have the depth, grit, the endurance to handle what is coming. The things you thought were breaking you were actually building you. So lift your head high. You are not the mistakes you made. You are not the people who left. You are not the seasons that ended. You are not the wounds you carry. You are a survivor, a warrior, a masterpiece in progress. You are living proof that storms can pass, hearts can heal, and life can be rebuilt. Loss may have taken something from you. It cannot take the purpose planted inside you. Betrayal may have broken your trust, but it cannot break your destiny. Failure may have slowed you down. It cannot stop your future. You are not defined by loss, betrayal, or failure. You are defined by your resilience, your courage, your ability to rise again. There are moments in life when you feel like the weight of the world has been placed on your shoulders. The disappointment, the rejection, the betrayal, the failure, it all comes crashing in at once. You think to yourself, this is it. This is gonna break me. This is the end of me. Yet, here you are. You are still standing. You are still breathing. You are still moving forward. That means what tried to break you did not succeed. Not only did it not succeed, but it has now become part of the testimony that is shaping you. Life has a way of throwing storms at us that seem unbearable. The kind of storms that make you question everything you believed about yourself, everything you hoped for, and everything you dreamed of. Storms don't come to last, they come to pass. And when the storm passes, you discover that the very wind that tried to knock you down actually pushed you closer to your destiny. The waves that tried to drown you actually taught you how to swim. The fire that tried to consume you actually refined you like gold. Every person who has ever done something significant had to endure something that almost broke them. The breaking point is the making point. Moment that looks like the end is often the place where strength is born. You cannot build resilience without pressure. You cannot build courage without fear. You cannot build faith without testing. What was meant to destroy you is what develops you. What was sent to bury you is what builds you. Think about the pain you've walked through, the nights you cried yourself to sleep, the days you got out of bed, even when you didn't feel like living. The times you kept showing up, even when your heart was shattered. Those moments are not wasted. They are shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, deeper. They are writing a story inside of you that will one day inspire someone else. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are signs of survival. They are proof that you went through the fire but came out refined, that you walked through the valley but came out stronger, that you faced the storm but came out standing. You see, the enemy doesn't attack what has no value. The fact that life came against you so hard is evidence of how much purpose is inside of you. If you weren't carrying something powerful, the battles wouldn't have been so fierce. If you weren't destined for greatness, the attacks wouldn't have been so relentless. The opposition is proof of your importance. The struggle is proof of your strength. The breaking was proof of the making. Your testimony is not just for you, it's for others. What you survive becomes a survival guide for someone else. The words you speak out of your pain will bring healing to another. The story you tell out of your scars will bring hope to the hopeless. The life you live after the breaking will shine light into someone else's darkness. Your testimony is not about glorifying the struggle. It's about glorifying the strength, the grace, and the purpose that came out of it. Don't despise the chapters of your life that hurt the most. Don't bury the seasons that brought you to your knees, because one day you will stand tall and say that very thing that tried to break me is the thing that shaped me. That very storm that almost drowned me taught me how to walk on water. That very fire that tried to consume me brought out the gold in me. What tried to break you is what shaped your resilience. The heartbreak that left you shattered taught you how to love yourself first. The betrayal that cut you deep taught you discernment. The failure that humiliated you taught you perseverance. The loss that left you empty taught you gratitude. Every wound became wisdom. Every scar became strength. Every tear became a seed. And now, those things you once thought were curses have become the testimony that defines your power. Think about clay in the hands of a potter. It must be pressed, molded, and spun until it takes shape. It must be placed in the fire before it becomes strong. Without the pressure, without the fire, without the shaping, it would remain formless. Your life is the same. The pressures, the fires, the struggles, these are not punishments, they are processes. And when the process is done, you don't come out broken. You come out shaped into exactly who you were created to be. So stop looking at your past as a place of shame. Start seeing it as the soil of your testimony. Stop seeing your struggles as signs of weakness. Start seeing them as the evidence of your strength. Stop replaying the pain in your mind as a story of defeat. Start declaring it as the story of your victory. Because what tried to break you has already been turned into the testimony that shapes you. When people see you now, they may never know the battles you fought. They may never see the nights you wrestled with tears. They may never hear the prayers you whispered when nobody was around. But you know, that knowledge becomes power. Because every time you open your mouth and share your story, you remind yourself and the world that you are unbreakable, that you are unstoppable, that you are still here. Not in spite of what you went through, but because of what you went through. Your breaking is not your identity, it is your testimony. You are not the betrayal, the failure, or the loss. You are the victory that rose out of it. You are the strength that was shaped in it. You are the story that came alive because of it. The breaking was not the end of you. It was the making of you. So walk boldly, scars and all. Carry your story proudly, pain and all. Don't hide your past, let it shine. Because the very thing that once embarrassed you is the very thing that now empowers you. The very thing that once hurt you is the very thing that now heals others through your words, your resilience, your example. What tried to break you has already lost. What tried to silence you has already failed. What tried to bury you has already been turned into the foundation on which you now stand. And as you move forward, you will discover that the things that hurt the most, the very things that help you the most. The breaking was not a breaking, it was a shaping. Your testimony is proof. What tried to break me has built me. What tried to bury me has raised me. What tried to silence me has given me a voice. What tried to destroy me has only shaped me into who I was always meant to be. There is something powerful, almost divine, the resilience of a woman who has been broken. The world looks at brokenness as an ending, but heaven looks at brokenness as a beginning. A broken woman is not a weak woman. She is a woman in transition. She is a woman being reshaped, remade, and refined. Because once a woman has been broken and chooses to rise again, she does not come back the same. She comes back stronger. She comes back wiser. She comes back carrying an unshakable faith and an undeniable purpose. Life has a way of throwing storms that break a woman in places no one else can see. Sometimes it's the betrayal of someone she trusted. Sometimes it's the loss of someone she loved. Sometimes it's the rejection that cuts so deep it makes her question her worth. She hides her tears behind her smile. She carries her pain in silence. She keeps moving because life demands it. But in the quiet places of her soul, she feels the weight of being broken. Brokenness does not destroy her. It transforms her. The cracks in her heart become the very places where faith flows in. The tears that stain her pillow become the prayers that strengthen her spirit. The nights she feels like giving up become the mornings where she rises stronger than before. When a woman is broken and still chooses to stand, she becomes a warrior. A warrior is not made in comfort. A warrior is not built in ease. A warrior is forged in battle, in pain and fire. And so it is with a woman who has been broken. The very struggles that were meant to destroy her become the training ground for her strength. The very wounds that were meant to silence her become the platform for her voice. The very heartbreak that was meant to end her becomes the fuel that pushes her into her destiny. A broken woman carries scars. Her scars are not signs of weakness. They are signs of survival. Every scar is a story that says, I went through the fire, but I did not burn. I walked through the storm, but I did not drown. I was broken, but I was not destroyed. Her scars become her testimony, and her testimony becomes her weapon. Unshakable faith is not born in easy seasons. It is born in the dark nights when there are no answers. It is born in the silence when prayers seem unanswered. It is born when everything familiar falls apart, and yet she chooses to keep believing. A broken woman's faith is not fragile. It is fierce, because she knows what it feels like to have nothing left but faith, and she has seen that faith carry her through. This is why her faith cannot be shaken, because it has already been tested. She does not believe because everything is perfect. She believes because everything was broken and still she saw the hand of God holding her together. She does not worship because life has been easy. She worships because life has been hard, and yet she has found grace in the middle of the hardship. Her faith is not narve. It is battle-tested, weathered, unshakable, and out of that faith comes purpose. A woman who has been broken and rebuilt does not wander aimlessly. She knows she was spared for a reason. She knows her survival was not accidental. She knows her story has power. So she carries an undeniable purpose, a sense of mission that cannot be silenced. Pain becomes her platform. Her survival becomes her assignment. Her testimony becomes her teaching. Broken woman turned warrior that does not just live for herself, she lives to lift others. She sees someone else going through the same storm, and she reaches out her hand to pull them through. She sees someone else crying the tears she once cried, and she whispers, "You will make it." I know, because I did. She turns her suffering into strength, her heartbreak into healing, her wilderness into wisdom. What the world once called her weakness, she now wears as her armor. What once silenced her, she now speaks about with boldness. What once threatened to destroy her is now the very evidence of her resilience. She is not the same woman she was before the break-in. She is wiser. She is stronger. She is more powerful than ever. When you look at a broken woman who has risen again, you are not looking at a victim. You are looking at a warrior. She may walk with scars, but those scars shine with glory. She may speak with tears, but those tears carry truth. She may still remember the pain, but she carries it with purpose. This is the beauty of brokenness. It strips away the shallow and reveals the depth. It removes the fragile and builds the unshakable. It tears apart the false and strengthens the authentic. Brokenness does not define her. It refines her, and once she rises, nothing can stop her. She has unshakable faith because she has walked through shaking. She has undeniable purpose because she has walked through pain. She has unbreakable strength because she has already been broken. That combination, faith, purpose, and strength, makes her unstoppable. So if you see a woman who has been broken, do not pity her. Respect her, honor her, because she has walked through fire that would have consumed others. She has stood in storms that would have drowned others. She has endured battles that would have destroyed others. She is not fragile. She is fierce. She is not weak. She is a warrior. A broken woman becomes a stronger warrior because she has nothing left to prove and everything left to live for. She is no longer chasing validation because she knows her worth. She is no longer afraid of rejection because she has already survived it. She is no longer defined by failure because she has risen from it. She carries herself differently. She speaks differently. She loves differently. She walks in purpose with every step she takes. And so, if you are a woman who feels broken today, hear this: your brokenness is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your transformation. It is the soil in which your strength will grow. It is the fire that will refine your faith. It is the process that will reveal your purpose. Do not despise the breaking. It is building the warrior in you. The day will come when you look back and say, I thought it was going to destroy me, but it made me stronger. I thought it was the end of me, but it was the making of me. I thought it was my death. It was my rebirth. And when that day comes, you will walk forward carrying unshakable faith and undeniable purpose, not just as a woman, but as a warrior.